G'day, I'm Dave from Australia. Meet Andy. Andy is a Ural giant hybrid known in Nordic mythology and in Marvel Comics as the Jotun/Jotnar/Frost Giants. This original bloodline travelled to the Americas a long time ago, which is why Andy here was found in Andover, Massachusetts, hence his term Andy. Now Andy's story comes from a long way away. He migrated quite a while to get to the Americas. Andy's ancestors originally came from the Ural Mountains. Andy the Jotnar, his ancestors were tall, very, very tall, thin, with long, straight, almost white blonde hair, as we can see here. This coloration here is what Andy's original ancestors were. Long, straight hair on the head. If you're a male, long, straight, pale mustache and beard. Again, very, very pale blonde. On the skin was also body hair. Long, pale, blonde. Now when these suckers decided to change and shift, they went from the Ural Mountains and travelled all over the world. These ancient giants. They went to the Americas. They went to Scandinavia. They went to Britain. They went pretty much everywhere. This story and this tale that will be told will expose every single part of where these lads went to. What they did, what they got up to, and how they became us today, hybridized with all the other archetypes of the human race. To do this, we will be looking step by step at Andy's features and understanding what's missing, what's changed, what is hybridized with what, and who still exists with these features today. Step by step, this will be explained until any time you look at someone in this understanding, you will go straight up. Ah, I know where you came from. I know your ancestry. Without DNA, without using millions of dollars to really check all these different shapes and features and splicing and all the rest of these things together, just by understanding what you can see. Once you see the truth, you never go back. Part 2 of Andy's story. Andy the Andover Skull from Massachusetts, America. Last time with the statement, I told you about Andy's true origin. Where Andy came from. The Ural Mountains, Western Russia. Originally I knew that the original Jotnar and their original Ural giant origin came from this area, but I couldn't figure out exactly where. But once I lined them up with this grid of 3, well, instead of 3, grid of 9, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you find out exactly where Andy's ancestors came from, Ural Mountains. Once I did research on that, I found out the Ural Mountains are named because Ural himself was a giant. Welcome to the Ural Mountains. As you can see, same exact giant stone structures that they spread all over the world with the different hybrids they merged with. You see in ancient Baalbek in Lebanon, you see in all different places all over the world. They've got these same structures. And the big mega doorways that go with it because, well, giants ain't crawling down with things like this, they're up here. Between 7 and 10 foot. Tall, thin. And this way they can get their animals through as well and whatever else they're carrying. But simply put, from the Ural Mountains, they all went for a nice trip. And they tripped all over the world. They went to Scandinavia as the Jotun/Jotnar/Thursar. They went down here and became all the Titans. They went here and became the Fomorians, over in America and became the American giants, South American giants, etc., etc. This entire series will deal very distinctly with where they went, who they hybridized with, and how they look because of their hybridization, as well as connecting with people today. But again, it all goes back to people like Andy. Andy with the very, very tall skull that is not skull-bound. A lot of the tribes who worshipped Andy and his ancestors, they bound their skulls and they tightened them in. These ones were already hybridized in. So what this next part is going to show is how this head type develops, the origin of it, and every single feature to do with Andy. Why his skull goes in then goes out. Why his jaw is shorter than it should be. Why the lip is shorter than it should be. Why the teeth are wide when they should be thin, etc., etc. This is the tale of Andy because it's the tale of one of the 9 archetypes of the human race. I have Andy's bloodline in me. We are of Ural giants, even though I am not that tall. At the very tallest, I was 5'11". Ulfar bloodline. They're not very tall. Elves never were. So seeing it for what it is, this is Andy's story in the beginning.